I just brushed my hand, and there was a symbol, and we had a freak out.
That's the find of a lifetime, genuinely. Who spotted it first, who just said, oh my God, I think that's a symbol. And initially I thought, it's not a symbol, just work. But bang on, we just kept revealing more and more and more.
Today, we all rely on machines to travel far, cook our food, and wash our clothes. But no one expects a machine to predict real-world events from ancient symbols carved into stone.
And I have a copy of the stone and its inscriptions here. What they knew was this.
Barely 2 years ago, scientists trained an AI named Akkademia to read Akkadian writings from 4000 BC.
The ancient Akkadians wrote primarily on clay using a wooden stylus to indent wedges into the clay. Each one of these can represent more than just one letter.
They expected stories about life in ancient Mesopotamia, but what they got were descriptions of disasters that matched the global tragedies of that same year. Were these mere coincidences, or were they real prophecies? Join us as we uncover the terrifying secrets revealed and the forgotten world behind them. The forgotten language. Akkadian was a language spoken by the ancient Babylonians and Assyrians. It was used by the ancients to tell stories, keep records, and pass laws. Most of these were put down by relying on an old form of writing called cuneiform that used changing symbols and pictures instead of an alphabet. Like English is today, this old language was powerful enough to shape civilizations. But even though it was used to accomplish so much, it vanished very quickly with the rise of Aramaic as a new form of writing and communication. It was so much simpler to learn that it made trade among different ethnic groups faster and easier. After the Assyrian Empire fell at the hand of King Cyaxares and King Nabopolassar, and the Babylonians were crushed by King Cyrus the Great about 2,500 years ago, their writing system became less popular over time, and that wasn't all. As these empires burned, so did their scribal tablets and scrolls that contained the information needed to understand the writing system better. As a result, the language started getting lost in history. Even though some ancients tried to keep the writing culture alive for as long as possible because of how vast and adaptable it was across different empires, the rise of alphabet-based languages that were easier to learn and speak made cuneiform less practical at a time when all the scribal schools from the Mesopotamian empires had been destroyed. Succeeding generations taught their children about this way of writing, but by the last century BC, it had faded completely. For over 2 centuries, no one has been able to read the ancient cuneiforms found along the way. Thanks to this long period of silence, not even the best scholars alive today can agree on the meaning of one cuneiform symbol. A great example of this is the famous plow sign written among many cuneiforms found in the Uruk and Nippur regions of ancient Mesopotamia back in the 19th century. Among the archaeologists working on this was Leonard Woolley, and when he wanted to know more about the plow sign among other symbols used in cuneiform tablets, none of the scholars he spoke to could agree on what one symbol meant out of the hundreds he put down, while the rest of them gave up for multiple reasons. For one, it has over 200 symbols that mean different things depending on the context. Some pictures and symbols could mean a word, an idea, a sound, or an entire story.
It's a tablet written to his father, Pushukan, who is saying that he's going to the scribal school.
To make their kingdom special, some kings developed their Akkadian system, and as a result, what one symbol meant in Babylon was far different from what it meant in Assyria. For over a century since Leonard's discovery in 1922, no one has been able to properly interpret what these old scripts meant.
Whether or not it's just mythology, or if it's fact, no one really knows.
A lot of the tablets were either cracked or broken with lots of missing pieces. When the 21st century came around, most historians and archaeologists gave up trying, and thousands of unreadable tablets sat untouched in museums around the world. So why do these old writings now matter all of a sudden? Well, This was where it got interesting. Later on, in early 2021, Gabor Zolyomi, a scholar at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary, brought up the idea of using artificial intelligence to accurately guess the meaning of these symbols. 2 years later, another expert named Shay Gordon from Ariel University, along with his associates, worked together to train an AI model that would be able to translate Akkadian cuneiforms to English, and how they did it was nothing short of breathtaking. The road to discovery. For 2 years, Shay Gordon and his team from Ariel University worked together to pull this off. While doing this, Shay Gordon's work drew the attention of another team of computer scientists, who were experts in various language models of AI. Both teams had one goal in mind: create a software model that could read and translate AI to modern English in a way that is clear and easy to understand. By the end of 2021, the AI model was under training and got its official name, Akkademia. To train it properly, they fed the AI a large group of ancient texts called the Aurak corpus. This was a collection of over 20,000 tablets of information out of over 500,000 units discovered in and around Mesopotamia. The idea was for the AI to scan the sentences based on the few English translations made by scholars, notice the patterns, and point out which cuneiform signs perfectly matched certain words and ideas in English. Akkademia did this for almost 2 years and learned the grammar based on the symbols changed in different tablets and aligned with English sentences. For several months, it read over 50,000 cuneiform samples over and over until it could guess the most accurate translations on its own. This way, slowly but surely, the long-forgotten language started showing signs of life. After over 18 months of endless training, Shay Gordon and his team gave AI Akkademia new Akkadian texts outside the famous Aurak corpus it had learned. Shay and his team were in for a huge surprise, as Akkademia was able not only to translate the ancient texts, but also to put them in a dynamic way that was smooth and easy to read. The translation it gave for difficult symbols had one of the highest levels of approval among scholars in archaeological history. The crazy part was that they compared the parts of the Aurak corpus that had been translated by humans to English and had it translated by Akkademia, and to their surprise, the translation was much better than anything provided by modern scholars. One stone, for example, was a legal text about sharing land and protecting property, and the human translations from the famous Aurak corpus were long and, at times, confusing, while the AI versions were much easier to understand. While this was exciting for some, it was also scary for others when it correctly translated a 4,000-year-old prayer with the correct names of gods and the right tone of respect, as if it were recited by someone from ancient Mesopotamia. Even Shay was surprised by how well the machine translation worked with an ancient Semitic language. But everything changed when it analyzed a 3,000-year-old tablet that was nothing like the others. Strange warnings from Akkademia. When Akkademia started its work as a properly trained model, it all started as routine material from trade records and farming notes and a list of things to use in ancient temples. But among the cracked and broken notes it translated was a special one that was neat and pressed carefully with a reed stylus. Yes, it was old, but the digitized format showed a stone that seemed more preserved than the others. On the stone were words about sickness coming from breaths and clouds that move without wind, and mouths unwilling to speak, like cities closed down by force. This happened back in 2023, a time when the wounds of 2020's pandemic could still be felt by everyone. After all, we had a disease spread by air, lockdowns, and silent cities that had a lot of people shut up in their lenses behind locked doors. But as strange as it was, it didn't end there. A few weeks later, the stone spoke about beasts running from fires in the north, and the sun turned dark not by nightfall, but by the hands of a man. Just days after this translation was made, the wildfires in Canada started spreading without control. Thick clouds of smoke went across orders into the United States. The skies turned dark and pictures coming from satellites looked grim. The timing of this event felt off in a lot of ways, even though the wildfires weren't miraculous in any way. Surprisingly, while Akkademia was never told what to look for or given hints about making prophecies, the phrases it gave as the final translation weren't robotic. They had a rhythm with a very poetic tone. One tablet warned of a river that turns red and poisons the beasts. What made it shocking was that it spoke about the idea as a recent event and not as a future occurrence. Yet, that line was translated and released barely a week after the toxic oil spill in the Ohio River early that year. The funny thing was that none of these lines were presented as prophecy or even mere predictions in the stones. For the most part, according to trusted historians, the writings on these stones were mainly reports on agriculture and laws passed by the rulers of old. So lost people brushed the recent events as nothing more than mere coincidences that aligned with the timing of the translations. But that was just the beginning. June 2023 came, and the patterns were just too obvious to ignore. The latest translations that were shown to the public aligned so well with recent disasters and unwanted events that they got attention from extreme religious groups and conspiracy theorists. Others thought Akkademia was just a tool for printing spiritual propaganda. Either way, everyone could agree that something weird was going on with the translation process. Other vague translations that seemed impossibly accurate were the lines from the Neo-Assyrian period that described the increased watch of a beast with several cold eyes watching over all the fields where people lived. Even though this line was too vague and symbolic, it seemed odd for that line to be translated by Akkademia at a time when Elon Musk's Starlink network of satellites was going global and spreading into developing countries including Malawi, Nigeria, Rwanda, Benin, and Mozambique. The experts were even more surprised when they remembered how the most broken fragments spoke about the shaking of the earth 3 times in one moon, a line that was translated barely 3 weeks between the triple earthquakes that struck Turkey and Syria that year. Akkademia wasn't built to scare anyone, but as it released new sets of lines each week, even its creators began to wonder if they went wrong in training the model to think without being biased. Were these prophecies just coincidence, or were the ancients aware of things that would unfold 4 millenniums after their time? As time went on, the fine line between interpreting old writings and projecting real-life events into the ancient texts was getting blurred. On one hand, it seemed these strange events were just coincidences unfolding all through 2023 with each translation, while on the other hand, it seemed the old writings were divine tools for unlocking future events to happen in a certain way. Whatever the truth is, the question of what hasn't been uncovered about Akkademia's translations leaves everyone curious to some point. The Institute stopped giving reports on the most recent translations because of the kind of attention it was getting, while hundreds of thousands of them haven't been translated in various museums today. No matter where you stand on this, it is fun to think of these old writings as a warning voice in an unknown language from the past that has seen the world burn before. And now, through a machine built 4,000 years later, the warning voice calls again. Do you think the writings are real prophecies? Or do you think they are just coincidences like most experts who have heard about it? Let us know in the comments down below. Dangar. The Dangar sea stacks, located between the islands of Vagar and Tindalmur, are among the Faroe Islands' most photographed natural wonders. The 2 towering rock formations, uniquely shaped like a pair of doorways, rise dramatically from the North Atlantic Ocean. Accessible by boat or a challenging hike, these rugged rocks are a reminder of the region's volcanic origins. Surrounded by rolling green hills and the wild sea, Dangar offers a striking contrast between nature's stability and the ocean's restless energy. Unlike Dangar, our next entry is far out in the burning deserts. Check it out. Nazla. Nazla stands in the arid desert landscape of Saudi Arabia's Tema Oasis.
Saudi Arabia is known for many things, but Nazla rock formation still remains an underrated geological wonder set in the heart of the Golden Desert.
This iconic rock formation is split perfectly in two, as if cleaved by a laser, resting delicately on two pedestals. Its geometric appearance has led to various theories about its creation, from natural erosion to ancient human intervention. The desert's expansive emptiness only amplifies the mystery of Nazla's formation, making it a magnet for geologists and travelers curious about its origin and the forces that shaped it. Wuhan Yuan. Wuhan Yuan, a breathtaking UNESCO World Heritage Site in China's Hunan province, features over 3,000 sandstone pillars and peaks. These towering spires, many of which are over 200 meters tall, resemble an otherworldly forest made of stone. Dense forests, streams, and caves wind between the pillars, adding to the mystical atmosphere. The area is often covered in mist, giving the landscape a surreal and dreamlike quality, immortalized in films like Avatar, which drew inspiration from these formations. Marble Caves. The Marble Caves, located on General Carrera Lake in the Patagonian Andes.
The marble caves of Chile Chico are located on a peninsula of solid marble bordering a remote glacial lake that spans the Chile-Argentina border.
Are one of the most stunning natural formations in South America. The swirling patterns in the marble rock are the result of thousands of years of water erosion, creating smooth, vibrant blue caves. Accessible only by boat, the marble caves change color with the seasons and the time of day, as the light reflects off the lake's turquoise waters. Their remote location adds to the sense of awe and wonder experienced by those who visit. While this scene is a serene one, our next entry is far scarier, as you'll see. Trolltunga. Trolltunga, or the Troll's Tongue, is a narrow rock ledge that juts out horizontally from a cliffside, hovering nearly 700 meters above Lake Ringadalsvatnet in Norway. This dramatic viewpoint is accessible after a challenging hike, rewarding adventurers with sweeping views of the fjord landscape. According to legend, the rock was named after trolls, mythical creatures believed to live in the mountains and forests of Norway. Trolltunga's iconic shape and jaw-dropping location make it a bucket list destination for hikers. The Moroi Boulders. The Moroi Boulders, found on the Otago coast of New Zealand's South Island, are spherical rocks that resemble oversized marbles scattered along the beach.
Here's a close-up of some of the Moroi Boulders on the east coast of New Zealand. Formed some 60 million years ago, scientists estimate. Amazing shapes, aren't they?
These ancient boulders, some of which are over 2 meters in diameter, are believed to have formed millions of years ago due to sedimentary deposits around hard cores. Local Maori legends describe the boulders as remains of ancient eel baskets washed ashore from a large canoe. The Moroi Boulder's smooth, round shapes make them one of New Zealand's most fascinating geological curiosities. Bryce Canyon National Park. Bryce Canyon National Park, known for its striking hoodoos, is located in southern Utah. These towering spires of rock were shaped by millions of years of erosion and form a breathtaking amphitheater of red, orange, and white limestone. At sunrise and sunset, the park's unique formations glow in shades of gold and crimson, creating a stunning visual display. The park's high elevation offers sweeping views, and its ancient rock formations continue to captivate geologists, photographers, and adventurers alike. And it's not nearly the only one to do so. Manuner Rock Formation. The Manuner Rock Formation, also known as the Seven Strong Men, is a famous group of 7 towering rock columns found in Russia's Komi Republic. Rising above a windswept plateau, these stone pillars are said to represent 7 giants who, according to local legend, were turned into stone for their arrogance. The remote and harsh environment of the Ural Mountains adds to the grandeur of these natural monoliths, which have stood the test of time and legend. Bird Rock.
Long ago, our forefathers, along with a few of our foremothers, first set eyes on this place. They saw birds sitting on a rock, so they named it Bird Rock.
Bird Rock, located off the coast of California's Channel Islands, is a striking formation that resembles a bird in flight when viewed from the water. Its unique shape was sculpted over time by the relentless forces of the ocean. The rock is a favored resting spot for seabirds, who dot its surface and further add to its avian appearance. This remote and secluded location is accessible by boat, offering visitors a rare glimpse of nature's artistry amid the Pacific's rolling waves. BistyDenzin Wilderness. The BistyDenzin Wilderness, located in New Mexico's high desert, is a surreal landscape filled with strange rock formations, eroded badlands, and towering hoodoos. The name Bisty means a large area of shale hills in Navajo, while Denzin refers to the petroglyphs of birds found in the area. Erosion over millions of years has created a geological wonderland, with rocks shaped like mushrooms, eggs, and twisted sculptures. The wilderness's quiet, alien-like atmosphere makes it a unique and otherworldly experience, but there's still more to come. Wave rock. Wave rock, a natural rock formation in Western Australia, resembles a massive ocean wave frozen in time. Over 14 meters high and 110 meters long, the granite formation was shaped by water erosion over millions of years. The curved, smooth surface and striped colors give the rock its characteristic wave-like appearance. Wave rock's stunning visuals and unique shape make it a popular destination for tourists, and a symbol of Australia's incredible geological diversity. Delicate Arch. Delicate Arch, located in Arches National Park, is one of Utah's most recognizable landmarks. Standing over 18 meters tall, this freestanding natural arch was formed by the gradual erosion of sandstone layers over millions of years. The arch's unique shape and its location on a steep hillside make it a must-see for visitors to the park. Giant's Causeway.
Well, hello from the Giant's Causeway on the north coast of Northern Ireland, where we have some incredible breaking news for you today. There have been unconfirmed reports that the giant Finn McCool has gone into winter hibernation. Now, earlier today...
Giant's Causeway, a UNESCO World Heritage Site on Northern Ireland's coast, is famous for its thousands of interlocking basalt columns. These hexagonal pillars, formed by volcanic activity 60 million years ago, create a stepping stone-like appearance. Legend tells of the giant Finn McCool, who built the causeway to cross the sea to fight a rival in Scotland. And it's not the only one with grand associations. In fact, our next entry could as well be royalty itself. Queen's Head. The Queen's Head rock formation, located in Taiwan's Yeliu Geopark, is a slender column of stone that resembles the profile of a queen. This unique formation, shaped by wind and water erosion over thousands of years, has become a symbol of the island's natural beauty. The Queen's Head is celebrated for its elegance and fragility, and it continues to draw visitors despite its delicate structure. Tsingy de Bemaraha. Tsingy de Bemaraha, also known as the Stone Forest of Madagascar, is a labyrinth of sharp, jagged limestone formations that rise dramatically from the ground. These needle-like structures were carved by centuries of erosion and create a stunning maze-like landscape. Visitors must navigate narrow passages and climb steep paths to explore this otherworldly forest. Devil's Tower.
A climber is killed Sunday night at Devil's Tower National Monument. A release from Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower, a striking monolithic column of rock in northeastern Wyoming, rises nearly 1,200 feet above the surrounding plains. This national monument, formed by volcanic activity, is sacred to several Native American tribes. Its distinct shape and towering presence have inspired both awe and reverence. Climbers and hikers are drawn to the tower's steep columned sides, while its cultural and geological significance continues to attract visitors from around the world. And if you thought this was great, our next entry is sure to blow your mind. Arbol de Pedra. The Arbol de Pedra, or stone tree, is a natural rock formation located in Bolivia's Eduardo Avaroa Andean Fauna National Reserve. This sandstone rock, shaped like a tree, stands over 5 meters tall and was formed by wind erosion in the harsh desert environment. The stark, barren landscape surrounding the Arbol de Pedra only enhances its striking appearance. Balanced Rock. Balanced Rock, located in Colorado's Garden of the Gods, is a massive red sandstone boulder that appears to be precariously balanced on a narrow pedestal. Weighing over 700 tons, This rock formation has become one of the park's most popular attractions. Its dramatic appearance, set against the backdrop of the towering Rocky Mountains, adds to the surreal beauty of the landscape. The Fairy Shoe. The Fairy Shoe, located in Taiwan's Yeliu Geopark, is a whimsical rock formation that resembles a dainty slipper left behind by mythical creatures. Carved by thousands of years of natural erosion, the shoe-like structure stands out among the park's unusual landscape. Set against the backdrop of the sea, the Fairy Shoe has become a favorite spot for visitors. Its charming shape and mysterious appearance contribute to the enchanting atmosphere of Yeliu, where nature's artistry takes on unexpected and playful forms. Much like this one, our final entry is an even greater testament to the power of time. The 12 Apostles of Australia. The 12 Apostles, located along Australia's Great Ocean Road, are towering limestone stacks that rise majestically from the Southern Ocean. Formed by erosion, these rock formations were once part of the mainland, slowly carved by wind and water over millennia. Today, only 8 of the original 12 apostles remain, their rugged beauty attracting tourists from around the globe. Number 13. Pit of Hell in Turkmenistan. Just picture a large void, a gateway to the underworld itself, a place where a burning furnace lights up the night sky in unimaginable ways. This isn't your average, ordinary hole. It's an abyss that, though created by humans, defies human comprehension. When you look at this burning crater, it looks like a pit of fire, similar to what people imagine when they talk about hell. This pit in question is more than a physical void. It's a portal to realms unimaginable. If you dared to stand at its edge, you'd feel a shiver coursing through your entire body as the air here hangs heavy with the scent of an undescribed mystery, drawing you closer as if an unseen force pulls at your very soul. Located in a remote area of Turkmenistan, adventurer George Karunis describes being the first person to enter the door to hell and what he found when he reached the bottom. Karunis and his team were unable to verify the story behind the pit, but they definitely confirmed that the singular site exists. In his words, "It is burning with a tremendous amount of flame, like there is a lot of fire down there. Day or night, it is clearly burning. You can hear the roar of the fire if you stand at the edge. The heat, if you are downwind of it, is unbearable. There are thousands of little flames all around the edges and towards the center." Contrary to what you may think, the pit is man-made. Long ago, in 1971, some scientists spotted it as a site that was rich in natural gas, and so to extract the gas, they started drilling until they accidentally found a gas-filled big hole underground that had collapsed and created a crater. So in a bid to prevent the poisonous gases from escaping into the air, they took a rather drastic decision by setting the gas on fire with the thought that it would burn out quickly. But things took an unexpected turn, and instead of a few hours, since then, the gas has been burning for over 50 years now, attracting every curious mind all over the globe to witness its rage. Number 12. Valley Demilly. Valley Demilly is a pure and hidden sanctuary, guarded by ancient trees and veiled in an aura that transcends the ordinary. In the 17th century, Valley Demilly witnessed the rise of a rather secret society, the Milli Illuminati. Rumors have it that secret meetings were held within the depths of the valley, where intellectual luminaries of the time gathered to exchange forbidden knowledge. The valley's pinnacle is marked by the Whispering Cliffs, where the wind carries murmurs of sounds you can't ignore. Myths portray it as the forgotten conversations and the laughter of those who once sought refuge in its walls. Legends also speak of a hidden library concealed within the cliffs, holding scrolls that reveal the secrets of the cosmos. When you tread through the worn-out paths of Valley Demilly, you'll see the remnants of a forgotten chapel with its stones weathered by time. This silent witness to bygone prayers adds to the mystique of a place where time feels suspended. In the moonlit hours, Valley Demilly is said to come alive with energy, but instantly change to intense panic as locals tell tales of ghostly phantoms that dance along the meandering stream, their laughter echoing through the silence. Perhaps it's the residual energy of ancient rites, or the spirits of the Milli Illuminati lingering in the shadows. Valley Demilly is proof that the ruins of a forgotten era stand as a testament to where mystery thrives, waiting to be unraveled by those curious enough to step into its walls. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, click on the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.